One Punch Man, Chapter 103, Viewer Prohibited Battles. So, guys, I was so naive going into this chapter. I really fell for the charm of a My Mask, and I really wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt coming into this chapter. I thought that he was going to have somewhat of a redeeming moment. Well, I mean, he does in the chapter, but I thought somewhat of like an actual redemption, like maybe he's not such a bad guy after all, but boy, was I completely wrong. And I'm also kind of glad because this chapter was awesome and it was sick in more ways than one. But other than that, let's get into it. So yeah, of course, this was one of the shorter chapters, which we've kind of been on a streak with as of late. But there is a reason why this chapter was shorter, and that's because Murata was also simultaneously reworking Chapter 102 as well. But it was for a reason, guys. He completely redid Chapter 102 pretty much, and he made it better. So I just want to talk about that for a little bit, and also you guys should check this out for yourself because, there's a lot more that happens in this chapter and also a lot of retcons as well. So one of the biggest retcons in Chapter 102 is the E-Iron, Okama Itachi, and Bushi Drill power dynamic. They have so much better feats now and a much higher taking on the power scale at this point. So we see in the original Chapter 102, they are completely beasted pretty much by Narinki's private squad, but in the revamped version, we see that is not the case. E-Iron is able to slice machine gun bullets pretty easily, mid-fire. So this is adding to him. He also disables one of the Narinki private squad members, the guy with the machine gun. It also shows his speed because he easily dips around him and disables him. Like I said, he depicts him as cutting him, but he kind of just throws him into a wall. So maybe he's doing some Kenshin stuff here, blunt side of the sword possibly. This chapter hasn't been retranslated yet, so I don't exactly know what is going on, but just based off of what we were seeing here. Also, Bushi Drill is also getting a boost in power here and getting somewhat of a redemption because not only is he just fighting against one of the private squad members, but he's taking on two, and he's fending off two of their strikes at once. So originally we saw that just one of the strikes from Narinki's private squad's organizational power armor was enough to push him back and worry him and be whoa, just the strike of their weapon is enough to break our own weapons. But that's not the case anymore. He's fending off two of them. And also another very interesting thing that we're seeing from Bushi Drill is that his drill sword cone lance thing that he has, it opens up and these shuriken type blades come out of it. Very interesting design to his weapon. We had never seen this before in the series. I mean, we hardly ever see Bushi Drill's weapon at all, but this is a completely new aspect to it. Very cool, very different. That's all I can really say about it. I mean, it's you got to see it for yourself, honestly, but it's very, very cool. And also it spins like a garbage disposal almost. But it is very fitting to his name, Bushi Drill. So also, Okama Itachi, of course, is getting an upgraded feat as well. We're seeing their speed increased as they are able to fend off the two ladies of Narinki's private squad. They have these javelins and these bladed spear type weapons. And Okama Itachi is easily able to defend them both simultaneously and is not drawn back how they were before. And also we're seeing Okama Itachi's air blade on display. This is pretty much their trademark move. This was taught to them by Atomic Samurai, of course, but Okama Itachi seems to be better in this aspect than most. This is very similar to what we see Zoro do in the Dressrosa arc against Fujitora. It's a similar attack to that. And then the air blade disables them, of course, and also we're further seeing just how fast the Atomic Samurai Disciple trio is in general. So yeah, definitely very, very cool update to Chapter 102. It certainly redeems this trio and doesn't make them look so like inept as they originally were, but check this out for yourself, please. So now let's get into Chapter 103, and of course this is picking up directly where 102 left off, so we're of course seeing the confrontation between a My Mask and Super S, and I really like the dynamic that is going on here. Like, Super S is genuinely fangirling out over a My Mask. She's like, you really are handsome. You know, like, and I don't think she's necessarily trying to be deceptive here, just based off of just the characterization that we have seen so far from Super S. It seems like she is, like I said, genuinely like attracted to a My Mask. Of course, she still wants him to become her slave, and she will likely probably kill him given the chance, but she is definitely attracted to him. I mean, come on, he's a My Mask. How can you not be? But also, the other extremely interesting thing that is happening in this chapter, which I suspected would happen, but it's kind of cool to finally see it play out, is that Super S takes her mask off. And this is something that has been alluded to for a very long time now, maybe a year. Not really sure how long this has been out there, but on a stream that Murata did a couple months ago, maybe a year ago, like I said, I don't really remember the time, but he drew just a rough sketch of what Super S would look like with her mask off. And it's pretty much this. Like, she has the monsterized mouth, the sharp teeth, and the extremely long Venom-esque tongue. So this is pretty cool that we're finally seeing this. I thought maybe if she took her mask off, this would, like, give her a power boost. Because that has been part of the course with the demon so far. But no, she's just, it's just an aesthetic. It's just a cool little thing that she has to her. So, I mean, I don't really think that she needed a power boost in this chapter, because as we saw, it wouldn't really make a difference considering how much of a savage beast a My Mask is. And speaking of a My Mask, what a ruthless savage he is in this chapter. Oh my gosh. Like I said before, I was kind of half hoping that he would show some kind of mercy on the Rinky's private squad coming into this chapter, because they are innocent and they are good guys. Like, they're not bad or evil, not even remotely. I mean, they are trying to save Waganma, just like the other S-Class heroes. They just got caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time, and, they got abducted by the worst possible monster, because any other monster would have likely killed them and probably saved them the further embarrassment that they were going to see in this chapter. But man, a My Mask just further showing that he is definitely somewhat of an anti-villain, anti-hero. It really depends on how you personally see him, but he is not a full-blown hero. And of course, his unrequited ruthlessness is coming from his insane sense of justice morals that he has, which can be debated whether they are right or wrong. It really depends on how you fall on the political spectrum, I'll say. But I guess I understand where he's coming from. It's like, hey, you guys are monsters now, and sorry, gotta destroy you just very violently. And wow, very violent it is, because this is, I think, the most violent depiction of humans we have seen in the series so far. The other super violent feat on humans we have seen before was when Sonic sliced up the Paradisers, who coincidentally were also wearing the organizational parasuits. So maybe this is some kind of connection here. Maybe this is showing that if you wear these suits, you're going to be used as a violent feat of power to depict human violence, I'll say. And this is even taking that further, because we saw that when Sonic sliced up the Paradisers, he just slit their necks. And of course, he turned some of their heads into like edgy art projects. But this is like a My Mask just busting through them, like just straight up busting through their bodies, through the power suits, flesh. There are literally organs on display in this one frame that we see of a My Mask busting through these guys like a savage beast. This is also further proving that a My Mask is one of the stronger heroes, and for sure on the friggin' S-Class level. I mean, if you weren't convinced by him one-handing that boulder in Chapter 94, I hope this shows you that, yeah, he could easily be an S-Class hero if he wanted to. We have to remember that these organizational power suits are very powerful. These guys are not chumps. A I mean, we saw before the retcon chapter 102 that they were depicted to be extremely powerful. And like I said in my other review, the Paradisers were able to bust buildings wearing these damn things. And I suppose it's implied that they are even stronger now, considering the upgrades that Narinki gave them, or whoever Narinki paid to upgrade these suits, because I also think that these were confiscated from the Paradisers. So these are definitely the original base power organizational suits that they had, and further upgraded, of course. But on top of that, we're also getting this interesting flashback where we see like a My Mask on the red carpet. Maybe this was from when he was winning his Oscar, which he has won. This is a confirmed feat of power for a My Mask. He did win an Oscar. But I assume that the narration here is from Super S. She's like, no hesitation. Is this really the same Sweet Mask? Because maybe she has like this idea in her head of him, like he's actually a sweet guy. Because maybe she actually hasn't seen him go full out the way that we the readers have. Maybe she just thinks that like he's like this cute little boy who won an Oscar and he's always has a smile on his face, you know, he's this idol. But now he's just showing that he's like this ruthless psycho killer crazy person. And going a little further into Super S, this is of course her final moment in the story, and I kind of felt bad for her. You know guys, I'm such a sucker for these mild redemptions that the villains get. I know, whatever. Maybe I'm naive, but I just felt bad for her because, like, she's just facing this overwhelming power in a My Mask, and she straight up surrenders. She's like, I'll obey your orders, my master Sweet Mask. And she seems somewhat genuine. I don't know. Maybe I'm being stupid here, but when he, like, puts his hand on her face and she looks up and I'm like, oh, you're really gonna let me live and you're gonna do things to me? Then he's like, nope, die, monster. So yeah, we don't see what he does to her, but I assume he's like crushing her head or something, because I guess the blood splatter at the bottom of the frame is depicting that. So I won't say what he does in the webcomic, because I don't want to spoil that, because it's very possible that we might see the aftermath of this in chapter 104, and that will show what happened in the webcomic, or maybe they'll just skip over this completely, and I'll just talk about it in the next review if you were curious. But in the webcomic, I'll just say we do see what he does to Super S to essentially kill her. And of course, this chapter is ending on another incredible genius level 1 writing moment, where it's just a perfect blend of action, comedy, and all of the other elements that go into storytelling when we see the Atomic Samurai's disciples encountering Pig God eating the Great Food Tub. Oh, I love this moment so much. I just love One's writing. He's just a master. Like, it wasn't just this moment, but like recently at the end of chapter 100, when we see or not the end of it, but during chapter 100, when we see the Millennium Emperor Nova go through the Monster Association into the sky, and Poison like looks at his blade, and then he looks at the Emperor Nova and he's like, I'm going home. This just shows you that One is a master of this stuff, and also just the awesome comical dialogue in this moment when the Iron's like, how could it be? What about laws of physics? How could he even digest that? And this is the sentiments that we the readers always have on Pig God. At least I do. I mean, if you follow my channel, whenever I'm talking about Pig God, I'm usually saying something like this. Like, his powers don't make sense. There's some kind of like weird supernatural element to it. And this is just further showing that there is like no explanation to Pig God and how he's able to do this crazy stuff where he's eating the Great Food Tub and it like increases his body to like the size of the Great Food Tub. It's so funny how he looks here, but also like his tail wagging in his mouth, like, get me out of here. It's just so great. I can't fanboy and fangirl over this moment enough. But also the last piece of dialogue we get when they're like, I don't know, this looks like something we weren't supposed to see. But also, this is pretty much exactly what happens in the webcomic as well. We see Pig God encounters the Great Food Tub, and then the following panel, he just one gulps him So yeah, pretty much the same thing here, which I expected to happen because, come on, why not? It is a gold moment, and it was very fitting here. So now that means another demon has bit the dust, or should I say another 2 demons have bit the dust in Super S and the Great Food Tub. So we are whittling away at this point. And I assume after this chapter, we're either going to get into the next S-Class hero, or we might see what Okama, Itachi, E-Iron, and Bushi Drill are going to be doing after this point. But regardless, this chapter was super fantastic. I loved it. I mean, how could you not? A mind mask on display, great pig god moment, and then, you know, a cute moment from Super S as well, so that was nice. I just really like that panel where he's holding her face and she looks just so, like, genuinely happy and cute in that moment. I know, I'm a sucker for that stuff, but come on, it's me, guys. But if you liked the video, please give it a like. Let me know what you thought about this chapter in the comments. What do you think about a My Mask? Is he redeemable? Or is he unredeemable? You know, let me know. What do you think about him? And then I also have a Patreon. Starts at $2. Gives you access to a Q&A. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you in the next one.